All right, we're back. This is episode 3 of the Soundcheck pod.
Yes, it is.
Happy to be back here doing another one with you, brother.
Absolutely. Today's also the day that we're recording is the day that I Will came out, so exciting times.
That is exciting. Yeah, I checked it earlier. It seems to be doing well too. Got a handful of messages. People seeming to be enjoying the song.
Same.
Feels good to see those ideas come out and people receive them well, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I texted you last night, but thanks again for being a part of it. Regardless of all the, streams and all the things that I'm sure will happen and will help both of us. It's just having you a part of the record makes it that much more special to me. And my album will be out in 2 days when you see this. So, yeah, exciting times. Thanks again for being a part of it. Yeah, this is a little bit of an impromptu episode because we're still trying to figure out our groove of when we're going to record. I know we're going to drop every Wednesday, but just for people listening, context, Adam just texted me about 30 minutes ago and he was like, hey, I got some stuff I want to talk to you about, but maybe it's good if we just record it. So Adam might be firing me right now, live on air. Who knows?
That's not happening. No, dude. So, it's just something that was on my mind today, and I feel like you're just someone who would get it, or it's just good to have these conversations. But I saw this video a few weeks ago. It's kind of been on my mind in general, but it was that dude Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. He was just talking about business. It was some other interview he did, but he was talking about this signal to noise ratio that people have in their life. And he was talking about whenever you're working towards what your purpose is, or when you're working towards the goal that you're chasing, that is the signal. And then everything that is outside of that, that maybe stops you from achieving that, or is just outside of that, is the noise. And he was saying that for people to be extraordinarily successful in their business, they should have an 80-20 signal to noise ratio. If you can work on what you're working on 80% of the time and then have 20% of noise, whether that's whatever, watching sports or anything outside of your business, that is a comfortable ratio. And then he was saying yeah, Elon Musk is 100% signal. The guy has no noise, and that's why he's so socially awkward.
That's why he's a billionaire probably too.
Yeah, and also a billionaire. And I have just been kind of thinking about that in my life and kind of what I have going on. And I think that I just need to do a better job of having more signal and less noise. And I think it's been something on my mind the last couple weeks of what is the noise in my life, you know? And yeah, one of the big ones, I think, which we can talk more about all of it, but one of the big ones for me is just being on my phone less, I think. Unless I'm using it as a tool for, obviously posting on social media, trying to reach people with the music. I think I do a lot of just mindless time on my phone that I need to.
You're not alone, by the way. Everyone that listening to this can probably relate to it to some capacity. I know I can.
Yeah. Just mindless time on my phone. And so I've just been trying to figure out how to navigate that. And I feel like in the music world specifically, that's such a tough job, specifically with the phone, because it's part of our job is being on your phone, talking to fans, building community, whatever. But I think that, even outside of work and success and trying to build what we're doing, it's important to be in the real world. And I think about sometimes when I was a kid, something about childhood memories, they feel so much more colorful, and the world had this unknown to it that you were excited to explore. And I don't know, I've just felt a bit when I'm on my phone less, I regain that feeling. The world around me feels more almost colorful or something, almost a childlike mind. I think the phone has a dissociation thing to it with the world around us.
It's like a dimmer.
Yeah.
It puts like a filter over everything where it's like everything's a little less vibrant,
Mm-hmm.
because I think maybe even subconsciously we're comparing our reality to what you see online, whether it's like what our friends are doing or like what a celebrity is doing or whatever it is. So yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. Um, I love this concept. It's something I never really thought about. Maybe just something I've been doing naturally over time, because like 80/20 feels about right, to be honest, in terms of when I think of my life and the way I spend my time. Because when you were saying it, like the signal versus noise, the first thing that popped into my head while you were talking was, well, there should be a little bit of noise because you're just going to turn into a fucking robot. And maybe that's why Elon Musk is the way he is. You know, like we're not here to talk about whether you should follow Elon Musk and listen to him, but it's like the dude's a fucking robot. Like he's not like us, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And to my point, that's probably why he's a billionaire. It also is probably why, like you said, he's socially awkward or maybe doesn't have great personal relationships like you and I have, you know? So I think like the noise is important. And I think maybe the key is choosing what the noise actually is and choosing how you're using that 20%. Is it something that's still healthy? Like, is it a good way to escape the 80%, you know? Um, but yeah, I love this concept.
Yeah.
Keep going. I want to hear more. I feel like you have a lot to say.
Yeah, and I've just been thinking about like how to basically reduce that noise, or like you said, make the noise be where you want to spend the noise. Because I
Being more
think that,
intentional with it.
yeah, being more intentional with it. Um, because it's like, you know, me and you, whatever, you see a funny video on social media or whatever, you send it to your friends. Like, we're always, whatever, comedy, send it back and forth. And then it's like a day passes and it's like, I don't know, I didn't call my dad today or I didn't talk to my siblings. I think there's just better ways to spend that time that I've been trying to be more intentional with. I've kind of been thinking about getting another phone, getting like a flip phone, and having that be like if someone really needs to get a hold of me, like if you really need to call me or something, you can just call that, and then having my like iPhone to whatever post on social media and like be active in the music world. But it's also kind of a scary thought for me. Like all of this is scary because I'm at a point in my music career where it's like things are going well, I'm growing, people are discovering my stuff. I feel like I'm making really good music that I'm proud of. And I guess just the idea of like making it a routine to be on my phone less is a little scary because it feels like all signs point to that I should do more. You know? Like if you just look at logistically, what can help you build on social media more? It's probably like being on it more, like being more active, posting all the time, talking to people. But I guess my heart and my intuition is just telling me the opposite, to like pull away from it all. So I'm trying to do that in a way that's not sabotaging my own career.
Yeah. I have a tip actually. Because yeah, I feel like over the past year or two, I've really made a conscious effort to be on my phone way less, unless it's for work, which it's still a lot because I'm working all the time. And like you said, like the nature of it is got to be on socials and build community and all those things. Something I've done is utilizing the desktop versions of a lot of these things. Like on Instagram, I'm pretty much always answering people's DMs and stuff on desktop because I know that if, let's say, I wake up and I have 15 Instagram DMs, whether it's like someone I reached out to or like a fan that I'm talking to or whatever it is, I can log in, see it, respond to all those, see I have none left, and then I'm done thinking about Instagram and I've done what I came to do. Whereas if you're doing that on your phone, it's very easy to just like see something else and then get distracted and then scroll for 2 minutes and then, oh, okay, I got to do this, and then come back, and then over the day you use an hour or two of doom scrolling, 2 to 5 minutes at a time, when you could have just like put that time to something else. So I feel like I'm never doing that on Instagram because I'm using the desktop and just like talking to people that way. I'll like post on my phone and then even respond to comments on the desktop too, you know?
Yeah.
Because when I'm sitting here at my desk, I'm in work mode. I'm not in like fuck around time, you know?
Yeah.
But if I'm sitting on my couch, if I'm answering DMs or talking to people, I'm kind of subconsciously like, I'm just chilling right now. I'm just like, post it up. So what I've tried to do is to some degree, like, have a hard cutoff of my day. Like, it's stupid, but when I kind of build my day around now is like when basketball is going to start, because I know like that's something I really care to do and watch. Like, that's how I want to spend my noise time. I want to just like chill and watch the Lakers. So during that time, like, I'm not on my phone. I'm not checking DMs. I'm not getting back to people unless I see it and it's very important, you know. But I'm also on do not disturb 95% of the time. You know that, because I just like don't want to get distracted. I want to be able to dial in on something when I'm dialed in, and then be intentional about when I'm going to be on social media and kind of be there with a purpose to, yes, build the community and all that, but very little anything else. And I don't think by any means I have it all the way figured out either, but I do know that that's something that's helped me, even with like TikTok and like YouTube and stuff like that. Like, I just schedule all my posts for YouTube Shorts in the beginning of the week, and I've been hella consistent, and like I'm seeing the growth there. But I'm not on YouTube all day on my phone, like posting stuff. It's just autopilot, and now I can record or be on the call or whatever I got to do, like work wise, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I should definitely start utilizing that, because normally when I post, it's like none of it's scheduled. Like, I actually just go on there and do it. And I guess that's time out of your day that you could just schedule it out so it's more automated. Probably should take advantage of that. Yeah, that's a good tip. And the desktop thing, I didn't really think about that either. Like using your desktop to be on social media, probably a different feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
And
That's, I
and
mean,
I,
that's just a little thing that I've done recently that's helpful with that.
And I also think that, like, while this idea applies to whatever business, like if someone's listening, you probably apply this to whatever you're doing in life and whatever business, but there also feels like a unique aspect to it with songwriting specifically, where some of that 80% is not even what you're doing, but it's how you're thinking and how you're feeling. Like, I think that if your thoughts aren't quite in the right place, then your songs and your ideas are also not going to be in the right place. And, I'm a very spiritual thinking guy, and I feel like ideas come from somewhere else. Like, I've told you that I feel like a middleman, or like a vessel of ideas, where like you kind of go into a space where ideas come and then you kind of regurgitate them out to your viewers or whatever. And I feel like when you've spent more than that 80% somewhere else, your head is more clouded and more jumbled up to where it's like harder to receive those signals and those ideas. Like, whenever you're sitting down and you're actually making music, if it's 40% that and 60% of everything else, then your brain is also like 60% somewhere else, you know? And that's something that, obviously, I love the songs I make and feel very confident in them, but I think it'll make me a better songwriter, and it'll make the music better if even my headspace and the world around me is like 80% in that signal and 20% everything else.
What do you think is filling up that space while you're in the moment of writing a song? The space that you're trying to fill up with like the present moment. What do you think is currently filling it up right now?
I think the problem is just not enough time spent there. Like, if you're playing basketball and you play for 3 hours, By the third hour, you're probably going to be warmed up and like hitting your shots a little bit better. But when you spend like an hour doing this, playing basketball, and then you like step away and you do something else for a while, and then you like come back to it, you're not going to be warmed up anymore. So I think it's that same idea with music is like I'm working on it, and then I'm like allowing my focus to shift somewhere else. And it's not allowing myself to like fully soak up that whole moment and get all the ideas that are supposed to be there. It's just like distractions, like whatever it may be.
This is reminding me of a conversation I had with my friend Bobby. You know Bobby?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was called mental sprinting or something like that. When you just like completely block everything else out and just be like, okay, for the next 90 minutes, I'm only going to be working on this song. I'm not going to look at my phone one time. I'm not going to look at my email. All my notifications are off. I'm not going to eat. I'm just going to lock the fuck in.
Yeah.
And something I've implemented after talking to him, because that's something that he does a lot with the work that he does. And that's another reason why my phone's always on Do Not Disturb, because I have my day blocked. It's not always the same day, has the same stuff, but I have my day blocked of I'm going to work on this for these hours, and I'm not going to be trying to juggle everything else in between, because everybody, like anybody, has a bunch of stuff going on, stuff to think about, whether it's personal or professional. And if you're thinking about all of it at once, you're going to be very overwhelmed and actually not focused. And then you're going to end up getting way less done by the end of the day. Whereas if you just say, all I got to do is write this song, you're going to come out with a really good product. And then you can always revisit it later. But yeah, you're just not multitasking. The less you can multitask, the more you can actually multitask throughout the day, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like I'll start making a song, and then, you get like half of it done or a little bit of it done, and then I'll be like, okay, I posted something earlier. Let me go reply to the comments. Let me reply to people that DM me, or yeah, I wanted to put this song in the lodge. I wanted to drop this on group today. So let me go and do that. And then like an hour passes working on other stuff, and it's like, okay, I got that out of the way. Let me go back to the song. Like, let me get back in here. And then it's like that moment that you were in has like passed or something because you just got distracted somewhere else. So yeah, I think it is. I probably need to do a better job of that. It's like when I'm working on this, everything else goes away. You know what I mean? Don't focus on anything else. I think that'll help a lot. And also, it's like, you know, I think that the way I'm doing it now, the songs are good, the songs are great, but, being good isn't really my goal. I'm trying to be like extraordinary, try to be like really good. And I just think these are things that, I guess you could hear all this and be like, oh, you're thinking about it too hard. Like, just take it easy, just make songs. But I don't know. I feel like it's important to really make something the best that you can make it. And I'm just trying to, like, that's all I'm trying to do is, like, I know what I'm making right now is great, but what am I doing that can make it the best that I can make it?
Yeah.
You know?
And, yeah, you're not doing anything wrong right now. Like, you're not fucking up. Like, I think whatever process works for you is what works for you, as long as you're being productive, being consistent, and really giving your best, and that's what you should be doing. But you are somebody that has the capability to be elite. So you don't become elite until you dial into like the really small details. And I feel like this is what this conversation is. So yeah, I think it's both. Like, it's partially just chill and trust your instincts and make songs and be natural, but also be very intentional with your time. And if you're able to, lock in for 2 hours and not look at your phone at all, I bet you make some of the best shit. And then, you can, because sometimes, as you know, you don't always get everything that you're supposed to out of a recording session, right? Not every song is done in one session. Sometimes it's like, I got to come back to this next week. Like, I'm just not, I'm not him right now. I'm like 70% of myself, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a balance too. Sometimes you got to step away and go for a walk and look at the trees to go, that was the word I was supposed to rhyme with instead of this one. That was stupid. I don't know why I thought that, you know? But yeah, no, this is all good stuff. Here's a question. Out of the noise, the 20%, what are the things that you are not willing to negotiate and want to keep even after you kind of trim the fat?
Talking to my family, working out, which
Bro, if you want to be great, you can't talk to your family.
yeah, yeah. You get it though. When you talk to your family, it's like you're not really working on music or anything.
No, I know.
But like, you know, gotta have a life. It's crazy to, yeah, you know, talking with my family, working out, taking care of my body. Probably there. I enjoy playing video games. I think that that's like a leisure thing that I need to keep some time in my life for. So probably honestly those three things, like time with family, time working out or cooking, and playing some video games. You know, if those three are in my 20%, I feel like I'll be good.
Those all contribute to your happiness,
Absolutely.
but they
Yeah.
don't contribute to you becoming a professional musician at the highest level.
Right. Yeah.
But when you zoom out, like you need that 20% to execute the 80%, which is kind of what we're talking about. So it actually does, in a way, you know, if you want to be real philosophical about it, but not directly.
Yeah. It does. It all plays a balance in the pie. Another thing that I felt like plays into this conversation is something that I kind of took from you, or like a bit of game that you put me onto, is the balance of money and convenience. Like the best thing about having money is having convenience in your life, you know? And I think that being a broke independent musician, you have to do a lot of things. Like you help me a lot, obviously being my manager, you take a lot of workload off of me, but there's still a lot that I do on my own. There's still a lot of shit that I do on my own. And I think that the more successful I am and hopefully more financially comfortable as time goes on, which I am more financially comfortable now than I have been in years past, that's where my money is going to go, is convenience and making that 80%, having the same things get done, but like paying other people to contribute to that 80%. You can do more with your 80%. Like, I guess a good example is if I could hire a social media manager, you know, someone who's just like, obviously I still want to always be the guy that's like talking to my fans and being in my community. But if there's someone that's like, yo, I'm handling the editing, I'm handling the posting, like I got it, a level of like money can bring convenience. So
That's the next person I'm going to hire whenever I'm
Yeah.
ready to do that, for sure. I was editing clips yesterday for our song, and I'm just like, I love what I'm making. This looks great, but I'm losing 4 hours to edit clips that it's like I'm relying on an algorithm to show to people, and it's like,
Yeah.
is this helping? I don't know. Great, it's good branding, right? Like I'm proud of it, but I don't want to be the one physically editing this anymore, you know?
Yeah, and that's not your gift. Like the same way
Yeah,
that
it's not what I
like,
do.
yeah, editing videos is not my gift to the world. It's like the more time I can spend focused on my gift and the thing that I'm good at, the better, I think.
1000%.
And so, yeah, it's like how can you use your resources, your time, your money, whatever it may be, to allocate that 80% to be spent on your gift? You know, so those are things that have just been on my mind recently, and like, I don't know, just something that I'm trying to work into what I have going on in my life.
Up until 2021-ish, 2022, every song that I put out, which was a lot of songs, all came from my Ableton session, the final mix, the final master. I was putting all my love into every single one of those things. And then I realized exactly what you're saying. Okay, I'm actually making enough money where I can hire someone to mix these songs. not only better than I can, but now I freed up so much time. Now I can pour that more into graphic design because I'm actually more passionate about that than I am the fundamentals of audio engineering. I could give a fuck, to be honest. I just want my shit to sound good, and I know what I want to sound like. So I was doing it. I learned how to do it because I was broke and I had to. But as soon as I was able to hire Matt Keller, who is a wizard, and like you said, that is literally his gift. He loves that shit. Like, I'll get on calls with him. He'll send me mixes. I'm like, yo, I need this changed. If that was me, I'd be like, fuck, now I got to backtrack and do this. He's stoked to dive back into that session and give me what I need because that's what he's so good at. And he's very knowledgeable, right? So I have the money to pay him now. So I'm going to not do that myself. I'm going to get someone that wants to do it, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's huge. And I can't wait to have more money so I can do less, which is a hilarious thing to think about. But, you know, it's like, it's just that money gives you freedom to dial in on exactly what you want to be doing. Like, I want to be writing and making songs. That's what I know I love to do. That's what I feel like I'm the best at. And I don't know if I'll ever have someone else do my graphic design stuff, like the magazine that I make. Like, I don't think anyone could make that the way I make it. And that's what I want, but I love doing it, right? But yeah, there's a ton of shit that I can't wait to be done with.
There's stuff about it that you really love and you're passionate about, and there's other stuff about the job that it's like, this just has to get done, and I'm just doing this because it has to get done. So yeah, those things definitely try to get someone else to do it. The money.
You think I want truly deep down in my soul want to book all of our shows?
Probably not.
But it's what it's got to be done. Like,
yeah,
it's got to happen. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna get it done. But am I passionate about circling back on 40 email chains so we can go play in Portland? It's like, there should be a booking agent doing this and we can just pay them to do it, you know? But time and a place. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's just really refreshing to know that you're thinking about stuff like this because in the end, it's just going to be helpful. And this goes back to episode 1 of why you've evolved so quickly. Because I think most people in your position, not that you're like, you know, a fucking huge artist right now, but people that are seeing growth and things are going well, a lot of people would sit back and relax and just think they're the shit and just be like, yeah, I'm fucking dope. I got it all figured out. Fuck everyone. I know what to do, you know? But you're still trying to learn, still trying to figure out how to dial it in even more. I think that's what everyone should be doing, no matter who they are. So it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what it takes at every stage, I feel like. Yep.
Great stuff. Should we wrap here, or is there anything else you wanted to add? We're right around 30 minutes.
Yeah. No, I think we can wrap here. I think that was the bulk of what I wanted to talk about, was just how you fill up that 80% and just shifting my life around and figuring out how to make that work. It's good to like vocalize these things, you know?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week. If you want to drop a comment on YouTube, or I think you can do that on Spotify, let us know if there's any topics that you want us to cover. We'll be happy to jump in and just riff on whatever. And yeah, thanks again for listening. We'll see you next week. Peace.